Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Welcome back to another episode of the SEO.co podcast. Today we're continuing the series SEO Resellers, Pros and Cons of Reselling SEO. We're going to jump in today with some warning signs of bad SEO resellers. Unfortunately, not all SEO resellers will be able or willing to provide you with the best possible SEO services. Because your client's goals are your top priority, you'll want to be proactive in working only with the most reputable SEO agencies in the business. While there are a few gray area practices when it comes to SEO, for the most part, it's easy to spot a bad or black hat SEO reseller. If you notice any of the following warning signs, you'll want to search for a different provider. First, too good to be true promises. If you find an SEO partner who's guaranteeing anything, you should instantly be suspicious. SEO is different for every client, and Google's ranking algorithm can be hard to definitively predict. Accordingly, it's almost impossible to guarantee specific results or results within a certain time period. In line with this, if their predicted results seem too good to be true, like predicting achieving rank 1 for a keyword term within a week, you might want to pass. This is usually a sign that something shady's going on. Second, suspiciously low pricing. While there are plenty of SEO providers offering affordable SEO services, you should be suspicious of abnormally low pricing. In many ways, you get what you pay for. Better quality writers, more seasoned account managers, and bigger, more robust teams will all lead to an increase in price. If an SEO agency can offer dirt cheap pricing, it's probably because they're cutting corners. Next, no screening or onboarding. Most reputable SEO agencies want to make sure their work is represented fairly and that they're working with real professionals. Accordingly, most SEO reseller programs have some kind of screening process, or at least an onboarding process. If you don't experience any kind of due diligence as you sign up to be an SEO reseller, it could be a bad sign, especially in combination with these other factors. Next up, difficult or inconsistent communication. As with any other business relationship, one of the most important factors for success is the quality and consistency of your communication. Your SEO partner should be working with you to better understand your goals, your clients, and how you work. They should be available and responsive the majority of the time. Their reports and messages should be clear and easy to comprehend. If in the early stages of your relationship, communication seems stilted, difficult, or inconsistent, take that as a warning sign. Next, overt link schemes. Link building is one of the most important elements of any SEO strategy, but there are right and wrong ways to go about it. If your SEO partner is participating in overt link schemes like link exchanges or any kind of automated process, it's a red flag. These black hat practices will do more harm than good. Outdated practices. SEO is a field that evolves rapidly in response to changes in search engine algorithms, as well as the development of new technologies. A good SEO agency will work actively to stay current with the latest trends. If they're using techniques that used to be effective in 2011, they're not worth partnering with. Next up, opaque processes. Ideally, your SEO partner will offer transparency. They'll be open and honest with you about how they operate, who they hire, and what kind of successes or failures they experience. If they seem reluctant to reveal their tactics, or if they dodge your questions frequently, you're better off moving on to a different candidate. Next up, bad reviews. As you might expect, you can learn a lot from online reviews. Assuming you can find reviews for this agency, pay attention not only to the overall quality of the ratings, but also the specific things reviewers are saying. Are there problems that every client seems to have in common when working with this agency? Do people tend to leave unsatisfied? Next, no provable results. Your SEO partner should be able to prove their worth as an agency in one way or another. Depending on the circumstances, they may be able to prove themselves with their own results. For example, they may rank highly for terms like SEO reseller program. Alternatively, they may have ample case studies that show off their abilities and their results with other clients. Testimonials are also important to observe. Lastly, lack of reporting. Good SEO campaigns are built on data. Practitioners take the time to report on their results, study possible areas for improvement, and calculate ROI. Accordingly, your SEO partner should have consistent reporting processes in place. For example, they should be able to send you a sample report and commit to a weekly or a monthly reporting strategy. Depending on your needs, you may request these reports to be white-labeled so you can forward them to your clients as if they were your own. And that's all we have for this episode. Thanks for joining us in SEO Resellers Pros and Cons. We'll see you in the next episode of this series, and we appreciate you listening to the SEO.co podcast.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.